There we go. What's up, guys? What's up, their sites are? There we go. Need some kind of background music so my headset doesn't turn off. So tonight we got some Mortal Kombat soundtrack from the Sega Genesis. I always liked that version. This is a small file. I don't have much in this one, Drew. This is so little. Look at this. This is it. I did a lot more mapping on the Y unit, but I'm going to convert my Y unit MK to a T unit. So I guess it's full speed ahead for a T unit. Sorry, Y unit. Yeah, I taught. It's a little bit easier to turn this down a little bit. It's a little easier to kind of communicate there. There we go. How's that balance between me and the background music? Yeah, we need a menu. We have a... Alright, let me turn that up a little bit then for you. There we go. Let me know how that is. Playing with settings here. Here we go. Let's try this out. Let me know how that's it. How that sounds. Alright, so right off the bat, we're gonna have to make a proper menu for that. Alright, so I guess either dive right in and trying to identify some routines here, or we can do something a little more boring, which is probably write a new menu for this guy here, because we're going to include go. Okay. Alright. Man. Alright, here we go. I think we're good. No error macro. Sorry. There be no error mac in MK plus. Well, let's see. Definitely we're going to have some improved mechanics. We're going to have crossovers. We're going to have aerial moves, which we've already done in the Y units. Feels so much better playing a Scorpion, being able to teleport in the air. We'll try to get other characters some aerial moves. I think I had Raiden done as well, or close to done. We see if we can get some more characters to get some other moves. That way it's more balanced too. Let's see, what else would we want in the menu here? Obviously this is just for my use, the debug area stuff, but as far as gameplay, let's do, I haven't looked into this game much as far as the ladder goes on one player mode, but I'm gonna say they're probably fixed. Array list of opponents, so we can probably let's just do a randomization option. Randomize. Let's give us a better name. Battle plan. We can also do randomize character select screen just to keep it interesting. What else? What else can we add? You guys got any ideas for the menu? Well, we can do gameplay here, and we can do turbo mode, improve CPU AI. What other gameplay options can we add here? Actually, we'll probably put we can probably put the improved mechanics. Can't type today or any other day. We'll probably put the improved mechanics all into the gameplay category, since it will affect gameplay. Let's see. We can. This might be a little extreme, but we can randomize the test your might stages. Let's see what kind of debug options would be helpful. We can put starting fight in there. That way, if we want to test like a boss or something, well, Guess we maybe an endurance match or something. But I guess I'd like to do some different endurance matches, maybe some 2 versus 2 tags, something like that, something cool. Large array list here. We got 3 items. Alright, so I won't bore you guys with the menu. We'll go straight into it, and we'll do some routine identification here. See, so the first thing I want to try is I want them to do a win pose after selecting them. Scorpion. Feels incomplete after playing the other games without the win pose. So let's start here with the save state. Let's see, destroy other threads. What can we work from here? Create the index for rounds. So I have thread end, thread delay, thread create. Okay. This game handles the segments of the characters a little bit differently than MK2, MK3, because these characters probably have about 7 or 8 segments that complete one complete character, and they're all stored in like a chained structure. So it's a little bit different, but not too bad. I see that causes some kind of issues. I've seen some glitches with endurance matches with the dead opponents on the ground. You'll see some layers or some segments that are overlapping others, and it looks kind of crappy, but we'll fix that too when we get there. Alright, so let's go with... I was looking into this a while ago, but I think it was on Y units. Alright, so there's our character. Let's see if that's a valid address here. Okay, so it doesn't store... We're looking for Kano up in this address. He's not there. We do have a control thread if they do it the same way as the last 2 games. So we can take a peek in there and see what's going on. 54FBO. Try to get to understand this this control thread here. 4FBO. It looks like we got a part to the next one. This is going to be instance 1, so I'm assuming this is going to be the selector. And it might even contain our object in here. $30. Alright, so you see this is our animation speed. This is definitely our control thread for Kano. You see how slow he's animating right now. So we're on the right track here. So it doesn't store the object location where it's expected to be if you are in a fight, but we do have the control thread. We have the control thread. It's probably going to have the objects within it. And then from there we should be able to call an animation, because the animation is all controlled through this control thread or structure. Consistent with it. What's up there, Shirai? So what we're going to do is let's find a code that writes that particular control thread here. We're going to find out when that starts, and we want to Alright, so this is building our structure for our control thread for player 1 selector. And I've already got that mapped out. If I remember right, when I was looking at this last time, I was something was a little different than the other two games, and it was throwing me a loop. Couldn't figure out what it was, and I kind of moved on, and I probably went back to MK2 to finish some stuff, but alright, so I'm going to assume that this FFC8BA20 is probably going to be our selector. Let's do this FFC8BA20. See what we got here. see, okay, so that's called a palette. A11. Let's see where that leads us to. I believe this right here is just setting up the selector. It's going to be the colors that's going to be flashing. Yeah, that's exactly what it's doing. Yeah, this is setting up our not have a palette routine. That looks like a palette routine. Let's see. Palette change, palette remove, palette remove index. Oh, I don't. Oh, check that out. Okay. Let's run that back. All right, so. List. Okay, so yeah, we're going to identify this routine. This is going to be it's going to be a palette indexing routine here. Alright, so we got that. Let's try this. Make sure we're good here. Alright, so there we go, got our palette index, so we can recognize that routine. Makes it a little bit easier when you're going through the logic here, you know what's going on. So this is going to create the palette index for our flashing routine, our selector. This right here is going to be a lockup. Alright, so we're good there. Let's take off that breakpoint. We will run that back. There's our spawned fighter. Can probably identify that one as well. Let's do routine. We'll call this. We'll just call this spawn selector. So basically what's going to happen is when you do player 2, it's probably going to have a different value here. This is just a color value there in A11. So if we scroll down, we might find player 2's, and you'll see that it executes the same routine. It's just going to have a different value loaded in A11 before it jumps to it, and that's going to change our colors. Alright, so that is identified. Let's run that back. This is pretty much how you learn what's what. And see, it's spawning our fighter there, our selector. continue setting up some of the offsets in the structure of the spawn selector that I just created. We can take a peek here at this task that's running now. Let's see what instance that is for EDO that we get. Okay, so this is instance 6000. So let's I like to keep track of these IDs because a lot of times you want to come back, you want to find and see if something's running, if it's executing. You can just do a search for the instance ID. Like for instance, if I wanted to see if I'm at the character select screen and it's got this particular task running, I can do a routine call and it will check for a specific instance. This is used all across the game for every task or thread that's created. Alright, so we got that. And these IDs are assigned like so. You got, you know, the prior to the creation. They'll show you what instance it is, and that's how it assigns it. And let's try to keep these in numerical order because I can't sort. Assuming player 2 selector is going to be 3002. So keep these 4 just to keep everything nice and uniform there. So we got alright, so a bunch of logging on the way. It's what you got to do, just a bunch of logging. Alright, and if I wanted to, I can go through here and I can identify all the offsets and kind of map out the structure of different threads. Like the selector will hold the character ID at offset 100 for player 1, and then 180 for player 2, and whatever else it needs to use, it'll do it. Alright, so moving on. Let's see. We want to animate. Do we have any animation threads defined here? We got animation speed, likely animation ID. No, I don't see it. I don't see any, so try to keep these organized. Alright, so typically the way the other MK games work is when you run animation, you're going to have their control thread in the, it's going to be the active one that you run it from, and then their character object is usually an A8. And then from there you calculate your ID and the speed you call the animation. So that's what we're going to try to do, and we might also have to do maybe an additional delay before it transitions, because it does rather it transitions rather fast after you select your character. We kind of want to put a little delay on it just to Make sure the animations play out. Alright, so let's see, spawn fighter, one. Put a breakpoint here, we'll do, alright, so here you see it's going in, it's going to create our character here. First it's going to read our character ID, it's going to see that it's 1, and then it's going to spawn it. So I'm assuming I need some kind of quick reference here for character ID, so let me look this up real fast because it's been a while. One's going to be Kano, obviously, because that's who we start on, but if we wanted to, for instance, change it, we can probably change that number there, and then you see we have Raiden instead of Kano. Go in here, we'll get some quick reference notes here. Alright, I do have some notes on where I was the last time that I was in here, so that's good. Let's see if we can find our character IDs at least. So the thing with this game is, you know, I want to make an MK plus, but the bad thing is this game came in 2 different styles of hardware. It has a Y unit and it's got a T unit, and the code's all similar. It's all the same. It runs on the same processor, so it's all compatible. But you have to make 2 different versions of it, because you can't just put like say 5.0 or 4.0 from a T unit onto a Y unit, because it won't work. Alright, so here I'm on another screen here. I'm over here copying. So we'll just do something like this. We'll do something like that, just so we can keep track of what's what. So there's our character IDs, and we can probably do, while we're here, let's copy more that we know over here. Let's do we know so far about the game modes, because no difference. Character IDs, we'll do stages. And another weird thing about this game is there's a couple different variations of Goro's Lair. I want to say one is used normally whenever you're fighting on it, and I think they use a different one when you're going to fight Shao Kahn. I'm not sorry, not Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung. Alright, so there's our character IDs for reference. We'll just save that real fast. Yeah, What's up there, Five? Yeah, Derek, I plan on doing just a T-unit. I've got both boards, but I'm going to switch to T-unit. Alright, so let's go back here. Let's run this back. Let's clear that watch point. Let's go to our next one. Here's our spawn fighter. So let's do state save here. We'll just call this, we'll do 0. That way we can come back to this immediately. Alright, so here we go. We go 105 4FBO. Let's check this out. This might be a different thread. Maybe that's why I had a fit with it last time, but 105 4FBO. Our current task that we're in right now, at the select screen it shows it has nothing right there. It would be right here. So we won't pay too much attention to this other window here because it's not in there yet. Verse to order of speech. You know what? I'm not sure about that, Poldermans. Maybe that's one side that I don't have the least amount of knowledge in, is the sound side of things. Right now, Derek, I'm going through. I'm just doing a bunch of research. I'm mapping some RAM. I'm identifying routines. The first thing I would like to do is, after you select your character, I'd like to do the win pose and their name announcement, stuff like that. Well, they might already like announce their name. I can't remember, but I would at least like to do a win pose after you select your character. So that's what we're doing now. Right now we're just stepping through the debugger, looking at the process of the characters being created, and trying to find their control thread here. That way we can call an animation, which is going to be some more references we might need to check out. Animation IDs, typically, well, no, they're different as far as the ID values go for win pose, but in all the games, usually 0 ID is just a fight stance. But anyhow, that's besides the point. All right, moving on. So it's going to pull in our character ID from RAM, and it's going to create the character based on what the ID is, and it's going to be Kano, obviously. I mean, we can do something goofy. I wonder if, just out of curiosity. Yeah, it didn't like that. What I tried to do is put Shang Tsung in there, I believe. Actually, no, I didn't. I think I went past the array. That's the problem. Shang Tsung would be. That's where we're at. Kano. All right, so we get that point. We can go in here if we want. We can check out the process of creating the character. If we want to, we might need to know a little something from here to get what we got to get done. Maybe not, but it's worth it. It's worth a look here just to see. Okay, so right here it looks like it starts creating the actual character because it's going to take our character ID. It's going to start creating the segments of it. Those segments are stored at this array, so we'll hop on over here. We'll go take a peek at that array. We'll save that. And we know there are, let's see, 9 character IDs. Of course, this is hexadecimal, so we're going to start at 0 and go through 8. So we got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's perfect because this OD3F here is a call routine. And then here, this is get PC and the A7, add 60, move that A7 into register A12 for storage, and then it's going to jump to this routine here. So we'll do this. Let's call that character segment creation. So as you see here, we'll be Kano right off the jump. So it's gonna go to that FF DO2D20 array, and you see all these other pointers. Those are going to be segments that's going to create Kano. Alright, so let's go back over to the screen here. Wait a minute, before we go back over here, let's chase down one more. Let's go one more step into that array and see. Yeah, that's going to be segments. So, and a segment consists of, we get width, height, horizontal offset, vertical offset, graphic location. Is bizarre that it's, I mean, maybe they started, you know, this address here is the beginning of the graphics ROMs altogether, so it's odd that that's there. And then last but not least, we got a palette form, so that's the way that breaks down. So we can also, let's go into here and let's ID our array. Alright, so we got that. Moving on. Now you guys got a taste of how it's done. Kind of tedious, but you know, you can't just jump in there and just start swinging away because it's not how it works. There's our new array. Creates our tables. Let's see if we can go into the next routine, see what it does. We've got another routine, and then we have A6, A8, A1. Remember, F8, A1 is going to be Yo. So let's also do this. Let's load this up here. We want T. There we go. Kombat 2, 3, WrestleMania. I'm just replying to something here real fast. It's just the times. Alright, so let's see here. So it's going to make our character here, and then we have some offsets here. We can try to learn what these offsets are now, or what they are now. But I don't think that's going to be important for what we're doing right now, so we're just going to jump out of that. More unknown values going on here. A1. I'm going to say 105.17 CO. Let's see what's up with the stages. There might be something with stage vertical offset going on there. We can do to test that is 517 CO, value of 108. All right, so let's do this. Let's do some goofy 208. See what we got. Yeah, it's basically what it is. That is our stage offset, so we can do fades. See, Kano is rising up a little bit, so we can go ahead and identify that piece of RAM there. 105.17 CO. We'll just call it Y offset there. 105.17 CO. Man. How would you even do Reptile in this game? I mean, what would you do? Just put him on a timer like he normally is? Put him on a timer between movesets? Or have both movesets available? Seems extremely off balanced. So we got a loop here that's going through each of the segments of Kano here, and it's going to check offset of 180. Let me see what that's pointing to. I get an idea of what this thing's checking for. It's checking for specific address. This might be the end of all the characters arrays or not.
volcano.
Alright, let's see. Back to what I was doing. We're back in the character creation routine here. Just trying to ID some routines. 1A2. FE6. Let's see where that goes. That is the sprite pointer there, so that's probably our current sprite in A1. 2 offsets there. Let's check our attributes F and F3. Okay, that's our size. Okay, so A2 is our size. And A4 is going to be our draw attribute. Make reptile selectable with invisibility and add chain combos to the game. You're silly. Yeah, I mean, there might be some stuff, Derek. We'll find out. A6 FFF2003. That's our offsets, so we'll do position sprites. I don't know if yeah, I mean, we can add options to whatever, you know, it's not a big deal. Alright, so it's gonna grab our sprites, grabbing the size, the draw attributes, it's going down, it's setting the offsets at A6 to A3, at A7 A2, 8, 7, move 7. Okay, so that's moving 7. 7 is going to what's it checking for? Checking for Goro. That's what it's doing. It's not Goro, so it's gonna jump. Add that offset to 210. That offset's different. That control. See, Mortal Kombat 2. That was current status. That's going to be probably going to be the floor location for the character. So let's do this. Let's go into 105 for FBO. That's going to put that into 210. And we'll find our 77 somewhere. There it is. Let's see if we can. Not make a difference at this point, but. That's exactly what that is. Okay, so we'll go over here and we can do. I can't spell today, can't spell any day. So we now know 210 is our low level, floor level for our character. And that's within this array, or this routine. Offset Y. So I'm going to say this FFC8 7F80 it goes through all the segments that create this character, and it's going to find the current position of the character, which is going to be an A1. So it knows where to position it because we come out here and it's subtracting the A1 from the stage offset so it knows where to place Kano. So let's go ahead. I'm not 100% sure on that whole routine. I might do more than that, but let's put that. What's up there, Grimdo? FFC8. 7F80, so this finds the characters A1s. Okay, so we got that. Thank you there, Victor. Yo, okay, so we got A1 is going to be our let's see, so we know BO is going to be so let's go here to offsets. Alright, so that routine in a nutshell looks like it's going to position. Well, the first routine here is going to find all the offsets for the character segments, and it's going to grab the stage vertical offset value, and it's going to calculate where to put those segments. So we can identify that routine. Let's see, position character stage. Okay. We'll just set it as set character Y position. See, this is what I was saying earlier. It's a little different in this game because you got to deal with every single segment of the character. So some of these routines, they have to go through a loop to do the settings or the changes to each segment, and that's maybe why the game feels a little more sluggish than the newer ones. Please restore Shang Tsung's sword decap fatality and Goro turn to stone. I've seen them. They seem like they're missing frames, especially Shang Tsung. It looks like his is just 2 frames or something, and Goro's might be a little more than that, but what's up to Raphael? You let me publicize your channel and project. Yeah, sure, why not? Alright, so moving on, where are we? Alright, so FFC872BO, we've got that identified. We'll save that. We'll go back here, we'll run it back. And you'll see we got that identified. So let's continue. Alright, so it looks like we got AO. Looks like 260 is probably going to be our offsets for. You know what? I got a whole thing. Let me go over here. I got some research already done on this part. 260 is it's the same as our character ID Kano. Let's run that back. Let's make sure that doesn't change. So we can do AO equals, let's make them Goro. Let's make them Goro just to see if that's messed up. Try it again. So yeah, it's going to store, let's see, AO and A8 to 260. Looks like it's going to be a character ID here. Pop that in. Yep, look at that, I already had it. Should have known. Let's see, new routine. I feel like we just did this one. No, we didn't. Okay. Been through it, but we didn't identify it yet. A1's our sprite header, I believe. A2's our sprite size, 20 by C. Our attribute. This is going to probably let's go over here to offsets and see what we're. Location vertical. Okay, so AO is location. And A6, A3. Okay, so we are Goro right now, so it's going through this extra step here. Thank you, Raphael. E5, move that over. Right here's an error with MAME. It says it's moving the value from offset 240 to 240, but in actuality, it's moving it from 240 to 220, as you can see from the instructions. But, you know, if you tell that to the MAME developers, they'll tell you there's nothing wrong. Alright, so this is going to clear our velocity values for our vertical and horizontal. Is going to be, what is 220 current sprite header pointer? Alright, moving on here. Let's see, 90 NAO. That's going to be our offset. For some reason, this routine here, it's taking our character segments and it is moving them way off screen here for some reason. Right there, team 1AO. Alright, so those are all the segments. I'm just going to clear a couple values in our control structure. 105, 29, 40. Not equal 6320. 6320. 181. Equals 0. 6370. Johnny Cage's backflip. I think I've heard about that. A70, 12, E70. So let's take a peek at this. 102, E7DO. Let's see what's being made. It's the shadow, that's what that is, okay. So that is running his shadows. Gotcha. Fight. Alright, let's see. 1 0. So I'm going to say this value right here, this RAM, 105, 29, 40. 29, 40 compared to 1. Right here, it looks like it's checking to see if we have the same players here. Let's see, compare 1 to AO. With equal. Compare 4 to AO. Okay, so it's checking for who is for Scorpion, huh? For some reason it's checking for Scorpion right there for some reason. We can give Sub-Zero the I'm assuming this is what some of those oh, what's that old MK1 hack, Reptile Man, I think is the name of it. Yeah, that's what we're doing, Grim. But Reptile Man is the name of the hack to where Sub-Zero has Raiden's electricity. Which you can see that routine checks to see if it's raiding. If it's raiding, then obviously he will do the lightning for him. So this is a pretty deep routine. We're in all types of stuff here. Okay, so let's do this. We know for a fact. Let's ID these ones. Where was that? Rates body. Create body electricity. We'll just name it that. FFD3 to DBO. Electro City. Let me fix that. Oh, I'm in Slack in here. See thread. Let's see, character ID expected in AO prior to call. There we go, we got that, and we can, let's just add this. Can't type today, can't type any day. Done a video on National Video. Hi guys. What's up there, Axel? Alright, so we got that ID'd. A13, okay, so... let's note that just in case. Alright, moving on. Look at that, we're out of that big routine now, so let's do... so let's see something here. There we go. Okay, so that's... Alright, so there's our shadow. It also dictates if we have shadows. FFCE5EEO. So it might be, let's see, table creation, so creating that character, setting the offset for where we at? There we are. Jump to runtime equal. Okay, so this, I'm guessing this FFC8 is probably gonna be. Yeah, that's going to be our shadow creation routine. Now we can kind of take it another step further and do create shadows and then create shadows for all segments. Let's do create shadow. It's going to be the subroutine of it. This creates a shadow. The object in A8. Routine create shadows. So CA2D40. This creates for all segments. Alright, so shadow routine identified. To 40 here, we get 0, 0. So we got the shadows done, identified. So this is going to. This is a very big array right there. This is the mother of all those tiny routines we just went through. We could probably call it setup character. Which we got FFC, because there's a ton of things going on here. Let's see. there, Christian? Alright, so we could find out what A3 does. What is A3? A3 3004. 3004. Still looking for it to be used. It's been used before that because it's overwritten right there. Okay. Anyhow, moving on. One into AO. What is 1AO offset here? What are we working with here? Sprites? No, not sprites torch. C160. Set some basic attribute in the object structure. 1AO. It's different on this game from the other MK games. I'm gonna say that's a control structure instance. We'll do that. This is another one of those loops that has to assign the same value to all 7 or 8 segments. This assigns the value in type the day, I can't type any day. Alright, by speed. What's up there by speed? Oh man, that'd have been cool to see you at the tournament there in a couple months. Some fierce competition. By speed stopping in the chat room, that's pretty neat. Alright, so we got FFCA 8D10. Thread instance locate. BBO. Okay, does not contain. We'll name this 2 because we have does not include. Okay, so yeah, so that's going to be our secondary thread. We don't probably will never use that one. Let's locate. This is the main thread instance locator. copy, and we'll paste that. Okay, another thread. Oh, you know what? This is more than just that. Let me take a look. No, that's it, because it jumps. Okay, yeah. Jump to 50, so it's equal. So there's no instance located for 2. So 2, pretty much here it's checking to see if there's a selector for player 2 that's also on the screen. Let's see, 5750 is going to jump these 2 lines of code if there is. So let's see, A8. So okay, so what it's doing is in that offset for the player 2 selector, if the player 2 was on screen, it's going to put the current character object into player 2's control structure at 160 offset, and then also their player 1's control thread into 180 of player 2's control thread. These probably carry over to the actual fight too, so I might want to jot those down, 160 and 180, because MK2, MK3, they're at 140 and 170 respectively. So let's see, location of object structure. Yep, I got those. Okay, just takes a little bit to get my bearings on some of this, because the offsets are a little different. So I'm looking at the values and I'm like, what is that? Maybe you can go to Combat Con speed. That'd be that's always a fun time. Combat Con is a pretty big deal. Alright, we're checking game mode here, comparing if it's 4. 4 is always equal to at the character select screen throughout all the games. The same goes for 2, which is in combat, 1 attract mode. Pretty much all of them are about the same. I don't think Ed Boon changed any of those values. They're all the same. Alright, so we're at the character select screen, so it's going to jump down here to 57. It's going to... this is why we don't see our usual object location in the player 1 structure. It's because it skips it for some reason if it's at the character select screen. I wonder what good that's doing. It's not doing any good for us trying to easily locate the object. Alright, so we're going to move our current control structure into 1BO. That might be, jot that down, because if that's the same in the fight, that's definitely a big change in the offset of that object structure. The object structure is actually going to contain its control, which is something different, because normally you wouldn't be able to find the control structure for an object through the object structure. It's always the other way around. If this stands up in fight time too, it might be different. This might just be done here at the character select screen, but we'll find out. Alright, moving on. Move 15 AO. I'm sure this is probably going to do maybe the layer. Yeah, this is going to be layer. So let's jot that down. We can put that with sub character, create shadows for the object. Set character Y position. Yeah, we can probably do. Let's put it right here. Routine. We'll follow the same format. Set character layer. That makes it pretty self-explanatory. FFC8. 7710. This sets the character layer from the value and A0. on all segments. Okay. See, in the other games, it was so much easier dealing with the characters because they were already automatically put together and they were introduced as one object. This one here, like I said, they got 7 or 8 segments, so if I wanted to change some of the layer properties, I would have to do it on all the segments related to the character. And that's probably why we're seeing that glitch for endurance mode. Matter of fact, here I'll see if I can show you exactly what I was talking about. Somebody I think made a suggestion there in Mortal Kombat 1. This might be it. Yeah, you can see here, you see the segments that are kind of, the layers are wrong. Got Raiden's feet through Kano's body, you know, it goes on and on. So that's probably going to be a simple fix. This routine will just be called after the character's on the ground. It seems like they're sharing the same layer. Alright, we got that ID'd. FFCE 5D90. What I want to do, let me go back over here. Let me get all these set characters routines into one spot because it seems like this should be together. Set character Y position, set character layer. Let's shorten that. And there may be even a bulk routine, or a routine that does all these in bulk just by a few register definitions beforehand. Alright, so, alright, looks like we're going to do a character compare, and I believe 8, what was 8 again? 8 is Shang Tsung, so I was looking for Shang Tsung. Just going to calculate the AD, so this is going to be, it's going to be doing the fight stance animation. EBO, so it's going to jump here. Okay. 5E50. So it looks like Shang Tsung's fight animation is 40 advanced. So I wonder what it normally would be. Interesting. Maybe let's find out. First, let's ID this routine. We'll come back to it. We'll set Shang Tsung as our character at the character select screen, and then what we'll do is we'll override this, and we'll see what animation he has other than his fight stance if we calculate ID 0 for his animations. Alright, so let's do routine. Let's not do set. Let's do animate fight stance. There we go. FFCE 5D90. Alright, so let's go back in here. See, we get quite a few stuff. Quite a few routines identified. Oh, you know what? I got a little ahead of myself. I forgot to AO equals, what was Shang Tsung again? 8? There we go. We'll go through here, we'll set the layer, then the stance. Okay. So we'll just say A0 equals 1. Compare. Okay, so we'll see what. Well, that's not what I was expecting. try this again though. AO equals 8. We'll go through here. And it looks to be the same animation. I don't know why they did that then, because it clearly advances the location of, unless it's maybe the start of it. That could be it. It could be just the start of the animation frame, what frame it wants to start on for him. Alright, so we got all those routines ID. Let's go down the list and see what else we got here. Oh, I see that the characters get it as well. It just seems like the animation start. Alright, and then we got FFC8. Let's identify that. That's our basic load animation, and it's pretty much going to take the frame from the pointer location of the animation. I'm just going to check to see if it's 6, because if it's 6 it means it's a shared asset between the ninjas. If it is, it's going to go down here. It's going to run an array for routines depending on what number it actually is. If it's not a shared asset, it's going to go here and it's going to pretty much rip the sprite and do the animation. Alright, so that's another basic one, good one to get. Move A1 into, okay, so it's moving 220 over to current sprite header pointer. Maybe it needs the one reruns. I think it's just a different frame they want to start off in, Graham. Seems like it anyways. Alright, so I'm just going to skim past these. We can kind of do these some other time here. I'll try to get some more interesting stuff here. Let's see, from A0 28. Okay, so that's that. A8 and AO. Another vital routine. This is responsible for bringing any created objects on and off the screen. Okay, looks like FFC8 3400. Let's see, that's going to be let's see, what do we want to name this? Character layer updates. I'll say bulk, because we're going to I'm going to do all those segments in one routine. What was our other one? Layer update. Okay, let's name it like that. Layer update character bulk. Okay, I lost my way here, so yeah, this is going to update all of the characters in AO. Let's see, A8 and AO. .518 FO. Looks like we got a new. Okay. I think I might have an idea of what that RAM is going to be used for. 18 FO. Alright, let's go back in RAM. Let's define this. So we got 10518 FO. So we'll go in here. I'll say this might be the last created object. Could be something else, but it seems to fit the build as of now. Okay, well, we'll specify character layer because we know that's a fact. We just don't know if we'll do all objects or just the one in the character layer. So let's see. Alright, so now, what are we, about an hour into this one routine? We're out of the spawn player one fighter routine. Player 2, obviously it's gonna go through the same same process there. And they'll probably share the same. Yeah, they'll share the same jump here. So we got our main object routine, our object right here, 102 C160. So we're in the right thread here. This is the thread we want to be in when we call our wind pose animation. What I don't have is I don't think I have a list of animation IDs in this. I'm gonna take a look here though. Let's see what I got. I might have it. It's been a while since I looked at some of this stuff here. Let's see, is it in here? I do have some. Don't really have it specified if it's Y or T unit. If there's a difference, there might not be a difference, but let's see. Wind pose. Do I have that? Wind pose. No, fight, step, walk, flip, uppercut, knee up, throw, sweep. Don't have it, but what we can do, we can find out real fast. We can go through. Well, we can go right here, and we can set a breakpoint there, or we can do this route. We can do breakpoint with the substitution of a register, and we can go through them one by one. Let's see, I've got 0 through 13 and 14, 15, 16. There are some different ones. So we'll start at 14. Let's see what's going on here. A9 equals 2. Yeah, that's right. Everything's okay. Guess we can't figure out our animation IDs from there. We can probably do it. Alright, so let's continue on. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, here we go. This is like another animation. Maybe this is what we need. Alright, so 200 is gonna store our current status here. Move index, as I like to call it sometimes. So I'm gonna note that. Clear area 9. There is our ID for our animation. That's why it wasn't working the other time, because this is pretty much overwriting it. Uh, 260. What is the offset here? Let's see. What are they trying to get? 260 from. Oh, I have nothing to find there. So if it's 5, it's going to jump it all together. It's going to jump recalculate. Okay. So what is 9? If it's 5 and offset 260, it's going to assign ID 9. And ID 9 looks to be flipping forward. endurance, possibly used for endurance. Maybe that's how they move endurance players in when they spawn the character, possibly. Alright, so let's take off those breakpoints. We can do FFC 4D60. A9 equals 14. Let's do this one. Alright, so let's do punch, okay. And a jump sweep, E give up to opponents, 15, 16. All punch related here. That's probably why I didn't write them down, because there was a bunch of punches. EBC is 15. So you know what? Doing this the hard way here. Let me go and look through my notes here. Okay, that's all Y unit. No. Alright, so I feel like I know this. I've been here, I think. Let's go over here. Okay. FFCE 4E00. What do we got in there? Let's check that array. Alright, I think we got our array for fight stance animation here. Speed, that's what I should say. Fight stance animation speed. So we'll go over here and we'll save this for Alright, so that's that. Oh, you know what I should have done? Yeah, that's another, that's going to be another widely used routine there, so let's... Generic array calculation. That's FFCE 4940. Oops, too far. we'll just name this, since this is character based, character array. We'll just name this word. What was that? 260. Alright, so we'll be seeing that quite a bit. There's going to be two different ones. There's going to be one for a double word and a word, depending on the value. So, alright, so we've got that. And actually, if you look back here, let's go back to where I was here. I'll show you what. If you look right here is actually the fight stance speed right here. These are all the characters. So you see 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, and 4 seem to be a little bit slower characters, which is Raiden, Liu Kang, and Scorpion. They have a slower fight stance speed. So there's another. Let's put this with the animation, because this is what we're going to see quite a bit with the animation. It's going to be a set animation speed. Also sets 1 FO. There we go. Alright, so we got that identified as well. We got a thread delay, good old thread delays. This is going to be our animation here. It's going to take what frame we are. Another error in MAME here. It's saying it's moving 1 EO offset to 1 EO, when in actuality it's moving 1 EO to 1 FO. This is resetting our animation count in our control thread to reset when it's into the animation so it loops. Oh, 518 BO. Jump if equal. Okay, it's gonna jump if equal to 12 CO. Okay, this is what's going to keep our. This is interesting right here. This is a part of what we need to get our wind pose to work. I think this is the part I was missing last time I looked into this, because this is basically going to loop until this value is not 0. So if we run it, if we change this value here, off some of those breakpoints. Go back to that and see what actually happens after that. It's going to return to this address here. put a breakpoint here. We'll let that go. And then we break there. And let's check out this array. This is going to be interesting. I'm wondering what this is going to do here. 57 C970. Right, so we've got probably an array of an array of 8, so one for each character. What it is, don't know. Let's find out. Let's see where it seems like most characters, with the exception of Goro and Shang Tsung, they all go to the same address, FFD7A300. This is probably our other calculating routine I was telling you about, the D word here. We got word, and this is probably, yeah, this is the other one. This is the double word. So we'll do character array. Calc. We'll put D word there. FFC49BO. And we'll paste. And a D word value. And these are both calls. I keep forgetting to mark what type of routines they are. Set animation speed. That's a call. Load animation, I believe, is HGPC. Jump. But that's a call. That's a call. And that's a call. Okay, so I'm going to get that FFD7A300 jump right here. And that wasn't much of a jump, it's the next instruction. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. E into AO. Let's see, is this going to be... This was like an audit routine just because of the registers that it's reserving. Okay, so this is okay, we got another array here. This might be the audit IDs for the characters when they're selected. So let's go check these out. Let's see, FFE1 4630. Is that right? 4630. Yeah, we got 0, we got 1. Yeah, it can't be right because they're going to be different audits. Alright, let's keep digging. Be some more like an addition or something coming in here that might, yeah, it's definitely an audit. So we got oh, this isn't an audit, this is an option. Know that address, so this would be cool. We can get some option routines defined. That's going to come in handy when we start doing our MK settings in the test menu. I think I have any of those. Yeah, these are definitely options. AO and AO. So we got something in our options that is the value of 3 here. We can probably find out what that is real fast. Actually, we got a couple. Got a couple right here, so this is definitely setting. So, alright, so let's see. This is gonna be pretty straightforward. Routine. Yeah, let's see. Get options. So we got FE1 3C10. This fetches the option value from the ID and AO prior. And the output's going to be an AO as well. So let's see, what kind of option could this be checking after we select our character? I'm sorry, we didn't select our character. We forced it out of that loop by setting this flag, which we don't know what that is yet. It's checking the option. Option E is what it's checking. We can do this. Let's just go into be our difficulty. It could be. Let's set it to 5. You know what? I might even actually have. I do. Check that out. And E that is correct. E is our difficulty. Look at that. We got routines there. I haven't switched over apparently. But this is for Y units, so it's a good thing. Looks like that one is FFE1 3C10. Yeah, they are different. So good option. That looks about 80. So FFE. Yeah, 90. Yeah, possibly 90. I get the other one. So. So if the data is the same, which it probably is, I'm expecting the set routine or set option address to be right there. Let's see. Okay. That's the option ID in AO with the value in A1. Okay. Alright, so those are some very important ones. So we've got that. Alright, so let's force our way out of this loop here again. We'll jump there. And this should be our get option. It's going to be 5. AO should be 5 after we jump that, and it is. If any value is higher than 5, it's going to be invalid, I think, so it's going to set it to 3. Okay, so looks like we have another RAM map here, another RAM location. Do we have... 1B60. I always wonder why they, you know, I mean, I guess it would be easier just to check a simple value in RAM rather than going through all the calls that's needed. And the settings for CMOS to actually fetch the difficulty setting, it would take a little bit more time, because it does some stuff that doesn't even really logically make sense to me, but that must be the way it works with the hardware. If I come across an example, I'll show you. CO, what was that? 05 1B60. Okay. Another array here. Let's see, character array goes here. 518 yo is true. So that still doesn't really answer our question yet to what this is doing when that flag's set. So another array calculation going on here. Let me update and save that one over there. Then we'll go over here and we'll check out. FFD7 C830, that is our array, and look at that, it's right above the last one. Move AO into, okay, so that's fetching a value for Kano. Let's put Kano, that value, into the thread of 140 of his own control thread. Let's see, where were those at? $140. What do we have for 140? I know Y unit, it is a palette index, but I'm not sure on T unit. It definitely is not a palette index number. Let me get another array, FFD7C8. Wow, this is pulling all types of 140. Move ID. Okay, so I believe this is the reset character hit. So it's 2BO and 200. Yeah, that's combo hit, and also Yeah. Let's get... Let's see. Let's see what this does so we can properly name it. I know 2BO offset is going to be the hit counts. $200, I'm not sure of. It's different than the other MK games. I know that's true. Alright, so we're going to pull one AO into AO, and one AO I have 0, return 16. Nothing on that, okay. There's our crash for some reason. I don't know why that crashed. I guess that was never meant to happen. Breaking shit. Alright, so let's see. Let's go back to... We kind of went beyond what we were looking into doing, but 105.18BO. Write that down just in case. 105.18BO. Alright, so pretty much I got an idea. Let's do this.
Kano.
See if that breakpoints and
Scorpion.
yeah, it doesn't reach that line of code at all. So it was never meant to get to that point. So this is basically this is gonna loop the fight stance animation for the character until I mean pretty much forever, because it never exits that loop because that flag's never set to true. So now we got a place where we can insert what we want. We got the ideal location. We need to find out our method of reading whether or not the character has been selected. That way we know when to change the animation. See, so we got the object here. We got 102 C160. Let's get the control structure 105 for FBO. This probably shouldn't do anything since we're in a loop anyways. Let's see, 4CBO. I thought that was defined already. Let's see, 5. Sub-Zero. That's odd. You know, wonder why it's checking for Sub-Zero. To change the animation. Let's do that. Let's. Let's check that out with Sub-Zero. For some reason it's setting the animation as ID number 9 instead of 0. Eagerly awaiting. Well, that's cool, Jacob. What do you got there? Well, that's cool. All the classics. Alright, so just out of curiosity, let's do breakpoint FFCE. Actually, I've got some breakpoints, don't I? 4D60. I sure do. Let's just. Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. 0 is Scorpions when pose or fight stance, and 5 is Sub-Zero's. We did it a little differently. Let's see, routines. Let's see if I can update that. Alright, so now we know. That's a shit ton of games there, Jacob. Have fun with that. Hopefully you're using something easier than hyperspend, because that's a lot of setup. Alright, so we're gonna define, this is going to be the real animate fight stance routine, FFCE 4CBO. Okay, so then we got, where's our animation? We'll put this with the animation. Since it's directly related to it, this is going to be, update. The launch box, yeah, it's a little simpler. It's kind of minimalistic, if I remember correctly. I always liked this, the way well, not the way Hyperspin does it, but the way it looks. If it's all set up, it looks pretty damn good. But there's a lot of setup, a lot. I basically just got an MK2 machine. I've got all the MK stuff for part 4, but I wanted to, you know, I tried a couple hacked revisions and I wasn't really satisfied, and I just decided one day to just start learning about it, and I took some of Bistus's cheats that he made for RAM, and for MAME, and pretty much started writing them in directly to the ROM by hand, just all assembly. And this app you see right here, this TSM assembler, is an application that Abystus wrote to help me write code a lot easier, because for instance, this is the script that you see I'm writing, but without this I'd have been doing it with all this code, all this hexadecimal code, and it would be a lot harder to do, and probably some of the big things probably would have never got done, just because of the amount of time that it takes to do some of this, especially even writing it with script. For instance, this one's over 2,000 lines. It's just something that wouldn't have been feasible. So he wrote that, and that definitely sped things up, and allowed me to venture out further and write more elaborate things in the game. But I started by doing some of his cheats from MAME that he made. The one that got me started was he had a hack that allowed you to play as a secret character on MK2, but you would have to swap out Sub-Zero, Reptile, or Katana. And I implemented something cool. If you hold the start button, you can play as a secret character, so that left all the other characters still selectable: Sub-Zero, Jade, and Reptile. So, and then from there it just kind of flourished, and every day it was something different, new stuff, you know, trying out new stuff and all that. Big boxes. No, I really don't have a lot of programming knowledge prior. Dabbled in a little bit here and there, HTML and maybe some Visual Basic and stuff like that, but no, I never really wrote much before this. So I mean, it's just years of staring at this debugger, learning, and that's pretty much what it equates to. Alright, so where was I here? You said character. So yeah, it just, you know, just kind of went from there, and Abystus was like, hey, this guy's for real. So he wrote this app and helped me out immensely, so big props to him for doing that. You know, I still would like the DS.js instruction implemented. Quite handy instruction for doing loops. You know, Jacob, on this hardware, the palette limitation is 255 colors. But most portraits are 64. It can do both, Ryan. It can do Y unit or T unit. It's got drivers for both hardware. So this here is T unit. Alright, so we were looking for an area to hook and also a method to decide when to activate our wind pose. So I guess what we can do is let's see, 105 for FBO. This is
Kano. Kano.
yeah, that forever loops. Okay, just like that. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to go back to the beginning. We're going to find our selector instance. You know what? Don't I have IDs? Okay, so what we'll do is we'll run a hook in that loop and we'll check what instance this current control is, and then if it's player 1's, we'll look for instance 3001, which is our control selector, our selector control, and if that's valid, then we'll keep looping the fight stance. If it's not found, then we'll do the win pose. But if it's not found, we also have to make sure that it's not found because the player isn't just there. In terms of polish, just like little things like this, like character select, win poses. There's more I want to do as far as polish, and that's the big one. Whatever else I find, I mean, there's a lot more. I just can't think of it right now. Alright, so what we'll do here, FC8 1340. They're the same sprites, Jacob. They're just different palettes. I actually have so many games that I can't play. I got Red Dead Redemption 2 on Xbox One X. I got maybe 3 hours into that. I got a Switch. The classic PlayStation. I haven't even really messed with that. I'd like to hack that. All the other many classics. 64 original stuff. I mean, I'm a big gamer collector, but recently not so much player. Not even my arcades, just because I've been wrapped up in doing this stuff here. Alright, so let's see, we've got 105.4 FBO is our current thread. And what we'll do here is we'll move our expected 3001 into A1. Pair 1H into A0 if it's checked as player 1. Get instance. Instance. Okay, so I'm going to move A1 into AO. I heard RetroArch is coming to Xbox One. There's probably some limitations I think I saw, but I didn't really go into the article. That's interesting. Alright, so we're going to look for, let's see, to runtime if equal, and get instance. Else we're going to move in, what was that, 3002. 3002, okay. So basically we're looking for player 1 selector instance if our current control thread instance is 1. If our current control thread instance is 2, we will look for 3002 because that will be player 2 selector instance. And after that's defined, we will check to see if the instance is active or found. Which it should be, because I don't think we have to do a check to see if the character is actually there or not, because the instance wouldn't control thread wouldn't exist if it wasn't. So here's my proposal here. Jump to runtime. If it's not equal, we'll go to restore. If it is equal to 0, that means the thread has been destroyed. Hopefully it's destroyed after it's selected. It could be just set idle. If it is, we'll have to go into the control structure and see if there's a offset we can check to see if it's done doing what it's doing, if our character's selected. So let's do see if we can back this up and go to our instance. Fighter, no. Where did we start before? Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I think I remember what it was. I think it was a watch point. That's what it was. 2, 3. 1270. 15, 1270. So that's what we'll continue there tomorrow. I'm gonna call it a night here, but basically I got to find I'm gonna find this where we started earlier, get those selectors created at that point, and I'm gonna have that structure handy. I'm gonna look at it to see if there's a distinguishable offset that can tell us if our selector is already off the screen. Just in case it doesn't end by itself. If it doesn't end by itself, then it'll always do the fight stance, because we're expecting it to be killed. That way we can do our win pose. But if not, we have to do that route. We have to go and find the structure and check out the offsets to see if there's some kind of value we can compare to see if it's done. But we'll do that tomorrow. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna go spend some time with the wife, watch some TV, relax, and get ready for my nice day off tomorrow. I got a Mortal Kombat 1 in the garage that I gotta restore, finish, and get that ready to be shipped out to a few friends. They're probably gonna love that. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, good night.